Today is a great, wonderful, amazing, incredible day, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a Nordic day. Sweden versus Finland. Which country is better for tourists? Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're here in Stockholm, Sweden. And today we're going to talk about are some of the similarities and difference between Sweden and Finland. And
I'll tell you why I'm excited about this video, because as you guys know, in a few months' time, 3-4 months, I'm going to be in Sweden and Finland. Actually, I'm booking my tickets in 7 days. In a week's time, I'll be booking my tickets to Sweden and Finland and Denmark. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I don't think we should put each other against each other, but I'm excited to see both countries. So
I'll be honest with you, I lived in Finland, so I'm a bit biased towards Finland, but I want to give you an idea so you know what to expect in terms of what could be similar, but what could be really different about the two places. And the thing is one of the big things you'll notice in both Sweden and Finland, they are both very reserved people. Okay, but if you ask them for help, if you talk to them, they'll gladly talk back to you. But I think there's one of these things. Whereas Sweden really practices stranger danger and really don't talk to people that aren't their friends and don't get involved with their neighbors and all kinds of stuff like that, Finland takes it to a whole nother level of...
So they both do stranger danger. By the way, guys, when I'm in Sweden, if you spot me on the streets, which you possibly might do, especially in the capitals, come and say hi. Come and say hi. Honestly, come and say hi, because I'm also, believe it or not, I'm actually quite a shy person. I'm not as loud and as I am on camera. In reality, I'm really chilled. So come and say hi. I would absolutely love it. You'll see I will be beaming from ear to ear in the sense of I'll be so happy to meet people that watch the channel, who are subscribed. So if you see me out and about, just say hi. I'll be so happy to just to meet you guys. So yeah, don't worry about not coming over and saying hi, basically, or even just wave and say hello, I watch your channel, and then keep it moving if you want to. You don't have to come and stand and talk to me, but yeah. Yeah, just so you know.
Of silence, whether it's on public transportation, whether it's walking around town, whether it's at a restaurant, where it's anywhere. I mean, they're both really quiet places, but Finland takes it to the next level, okay? I want you to know that. And I think another thing I want to mention in terms of how things are similar is Stockholm and Helsinki give the wrong impression in terms of pricing for the country. Both places, I mean, Helsinki you should visit, Stockholm you should visit, but the thing is, both places have very, very high prices. And the thing is, people assume that those prices filter throughout the whole countries. They don't. If you leave Helsinki and go to Turku or Tampere or Naantali or wherever, the prices drop significantly. It's the same thing here. I mean, it's
the same as the UK. So I do understand that when you're in the capital, it's expensive. London is expensive. It's not the same in the north of England. It's still expensive, but not as expensive. So it probably is the same in Sweden.
Expensive weekend away to go to Stockholm. But if you go to other parts of Sweden, if you go to the lakes or whatever, go around the coast, the prices drop amazingly amount, and so you can actually enjoy it. Now, I'm not going to say they're either cheap, but it's not like you're paying a mortgage for every single day like you feel when you're in Helsinki or here in Stockholm. Now, another thing I think they both have in common is both of these countries, they really love nature. People get out of the nature, whether it's hiking or mushroom hunting or going to their summer cottages or going to the lake. You do have that, but I will say I think the Finns take it a little bit farther in getting back to nature when it comes to nudity, because in Finland they love their sauna. The saunas, they have them in everybody's home, or almost everybody's home. Your hotel will have one, all kinds of stuff, and it's a true experience of having something in Finland that's Finnish is going to sauna. And when you go to sauna, you go butt naked. Don't worry, it's separated by sexes, okay? It's not co-ed unless it's your family. And they love it, and they'll be totally naked. They're super, they're kind of conservative in some ways in Finland, but when it comes to nudity and sauna, it doesn't matter. We're totally cool.
I just love that about Finns. You just naked and just free, and that's not a weird thing, and I respect that completely.
Sadly, here in Sweden, the no problem with the nudity and no big deal is in a way there with like TV and stuff like that, but for the people, not as much. Now, a nice way that both of these countries are very similar is if you need a fast food treat, they both have their own fast food restaurants. They're actually really good. Now, I know most of you think, oh, Mark, you're a McDonald's guy. You're from America, right? Well, actually, I'm a Culver's guy personally. Works with a shirt color. But no, like McDonald's and Burger King, they're in both those countries, but you don't want to go to those. You want to go to the local places. Here in Sweden, you have Max, and Max is a burger joint that has fantastic stuff. Get the original sauce so you can dip your fries in it. It's so good. In Finland, they have Hesburger. If anybody has watched any of my videos ever about Finland or saw my increase it in size when I lived in Finland, is Hesburger that I love so much. And they have their like Keros Hesburger. It's like a Big Mac, but better, and their sauces with it. They're both fantastic. They're both affordable options because, I mean, like I said, it's not cheap either.
I'll give it a go. I'll try. Do you guys have McDonald's as well, though? Do you have McDonald's as well? It's just that you have your own country's version of McDonald's. Let me know. Or is McDonald's not allowed in Sweden and Finland? Let me know in the comment section.
Countries, but eating at those fast food places, it's a cultural experience, and it's good food, and it's a little bit cheaper than going out to eat. So that's something you can think about. Now, another thing where both countries are similar when it comes to food is in terms of like the non-GMO healthy ingredients versus other food. Like they all love berries. You'll see berries coming up a lot. Lingonberries are big here.
Good. Is that like a lingonberry like pie? Ooh, yes. Give me some of that.
Lingonberries are big here. In Finland, you'll see blueberries with their blueberry pie kind of stuff. I mean, you have a lot of berry stuff here, right? And so that is something similar. Also with their bread, they like their open-faced sandwiches, like the rye bread with shrimp on top, or their rye bread with salmon on top. Those kind of things come up quite often in terms of similarities in the food, okay? Now, with the food, another similarity between them is the local food isn't the most wow-inducing food out there. You'll notice that
That's kind of rude, isn't it? It said your food's not nice, basically. I'll be the judge of that. I've seen a lot of your food that looks quite nice. Like your pizzas look incredible. Meatballs look incredible. Like there's a lot of food. Like your soup in Finland. I was on about Sweden then. The salmon soup in Finland. I need to have that in my life. Looks delicious. Your pastries, delicious. So I don't know what he's talking about, guys.
that the locals like.
But I've not been, so I don't know. I might absolutely hate both your foods, both your cuisine, but I doubt it.
To go eat Italian food or Indonesian food or Chinese food or Mexican food. Like, it's hard.
But he's American and I'm from the UK. In the UK, we have a similar palate, I think, to Sweden and Finns.
To find local Finnish food and local Swedish foods at night for restaurants. Now, this is what's cool. Both these places, what's good is if you want to have local Finnish food, if you want to have local Swedish food, at lunch, you go to these lunch buffets. You're in the smorgasbord, right? You go to this lunch buffets, they have the meatballs there, they have the salmon there, they have the things you want to have. Like in Finland, you get to have the salmon soup with cream. It's so good. You can do that, but it's at lunchtime. Like, that's when you're gonna have to get it at these like kind of cafeteria settings, okay? Now, another thing that's really similar between the two is actually how good the public transportation is, whether you're gonna take the buses to different towns or different cities, or you're gonna take the trains. I mean, they go all over, and what you have to realize is both Finland and Sweden are very long. So those are long drives if you want to drive. Those are long, bus rides. Those are long.
I was like, long. It means like, yeah, you long lengths. You're not like width, like wide, but you're like really long countries. I get it.
Long train rides. You think they're going to be very expensive. What's great is in both countries, taking the bus, taking the train is significantly cheaper than you think it's going to be. Like when
I wish it was like that in the UK. You know what's funny? We're not very long. As you've probably seen on the map, we're an island. We're small. And it is so expensive. I've seen plane tickets, just to put it in context, plane tickets from Manchester, which is not far from me, to Stockholm, that's cheaper than me getting a train from where I live to London. Make it make sense. That's how expensive our trains are here. I don't know if you've ever visited England. If you've ever left London, if you leave London and you ever got a train somewhere else in the country, it's expensive. It's
when I went from Helsinki to Turku, it was literally only like 2-hour train ride, and it was like 23 euros. I mean, it was hardly anything. And it was great. And you have that through, so it makes it easy for you to go explore. So if you're like, man, I don't know if I can afford dinner here. And
Do you know what's crazy? That 2-hour journey he's talking about is exactly how long it takes on the train to get from here to London. Yet all the tickets are over 100 pounds. So what, 80 euros or something? I don't know.
Stockholm, then don't. Go take the train up to Uppsala for the day. It's like an hour away, or go to Gothenburg for a night or two. You know, the prices come down a little bit in Gothenburg. They're still pretty high, but they come down a bit, but it's cheap to get there. And that's what's really cool. It allows you to go explore more in Sweden and in Finland, okay? Now, there's another thing I need to talk about, and I'm sorry, my Finnish friends. This is a topic that Sweden, and I think any traveler needs to know.
Okay.
When you see Sweden, you see beautiful people. Everywhere, all shapes and sizes. They're not all tall, blonde hair, blue-eyed, beautiful. They're all beautiful, and they come in all shapes and sizes. And if I look at like the 4 kind of main groups, I got Finnish women, Finnish men, Swedish women, Swedish men. Now, Finnish women and Swedish women are beautiful, no doubt there. But I gotta say, if I look at the scale, the most beautiful people between Finland and Sweden are the Swedish men. They are like models everywhere they go, and they always are dressed so nice and look so good. You're like,
He's like, do you know who the hottest people are? Swedish men. Is that true? Is it true? I don't know. Yeah. Swedish men are very, very attractive. I can't lie. I've seen pictures. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to let me know. Are Swedish men very, very attractive? Because he's saying it. I don't know.
you're like, dang, I am ugly. Because that's just one of the things. I'm sorry, Finland. Sweden beats us. They got good-looking dudes, and the women are beautiful too. And I mean, I love my Finnish dude friends, but y'all guys, you can't beat the Swedish dudes. Sorry. But I can give you a little hope as a traveler if you're looking for safety. I mean, both countries are safe, so I can't say one's safe, one's dangerous. But I would say I definitely feel a little bit safer in Finland than I do in Sweden. I mean, I feel safe in both of them, but in certain parts of the country, there are certain things that I would really prefer being in Finland than Sweden in certain parts. And like I see when I go with my kids, I don't worry at all when I'm in Finland. Doesn't matter where I am in Finland, I'm not really worried about them at all. Okay. Sweden, there's a few parts I might be like, hey guys, let's stay over here. You know, these kind of things. Like if you look at like tourist kind of things like pickpockets, yeah, you might have to worry about it here in Stockholm or Malmo, right? In Finland, yeah, no. You don't have to worry. Like if you lose your wallet on the bus, they're probably going to turn it in and someone's going to call you up at your hotel and be like, yo, did you lose your wallet? Oh, thanks. Stockholm, if a Swede finds it, they're probably going to turn it in, but, just have a heads up. I think Finland wins in the safety thing, but it's like...
Okay, I'll be streetwise when I go to Stockholm. But it's not going to be any more dangerous than going around London, is it?
One is an A, and Sweden is like an A in safety, but Finland is like an A++ in safety. But actually, the big safety issue you might have when you are here in Sweden is actually the bike lanes, because man, they love their bikes, and they don't love stopping them. So do have a heads up, especially if you got your kids out, because they like to wander out on those bike paths, and that can be bad. Now, another similarity with the people, which I want to talk about, I know I said there's all that stranger danger, they don't talk to anybody, but one thing I will tell you is when you come here and you come for a festival, or you come in the summertime, the people at both places open up a lot more, and when they get a little bit of, let's say, beer in them, they become even more outgoing, and the songs start...
So basically, you're like Brits as well. Brits are very much like that, like, if you go around Britain, it's funny when I moved back from like Thailand and I came here and I was walking the streets, I was like, oh, actually, we might actually be more similar to you guys than I've ever noticed before. Because I was walking, everyone's quiet, everyone's keeping themselves to themselves. You're silent. You just stand and you just listen. It's really, really quiet. People are walking and going to their destinations. No one's speaking to random strangers. It's just very that. But then when it's like a festival, like you said, or people have had a bit to drink, you're my best mate, and they're talking everyone's talking to each other. I think we're quite similar. You guys will be able to let me know, actually, if you're a Swede or you're a Finn and you've ever been to England, preferably not London, outside of London and another city in the country. How similar are we, do you think, in terms of society, like the way that we interact with each other on the streets and with strangers? Are we quite similar, or am I just making this up? Because I haven't been yet, but I'll be able to tell you once I've been, and then I could be like, okay, these are the similarities, these are the things that are completely like different. But yeah, let me know in the comment section. What did you think when you came to England? Let me know.
start coming out. So that's another similarity they do have, is like in the summertime and when alcohol flows, they get a little more talkative, let's say, a little more chatty, not chatty Cathy, more like chatty Katrina, if you're there. But I think going in with the chattiness, one thing that's really great in both countries, you don't have to learn Swedish, you don't have to learn Finnish. They both speak English extremely well, but both places really appreciate it when you try. Like in Finland, when I would order something in Finnish, they're like, you could just see them like, oh, and they're like the smile, their heart warmed up. They were so happy. Like, you were totally wrong, but I understand that you wanted another salmon roll. Like, oh, thanks.
So I'm gonna try. Should I try? Oh my god. I'm gonna try and speak. I'm gonna learn a little bit of like things to say, like to order in Swedish and see what they say. You know what else I like doing? I used to do it in Spanish as well. I don't know any Spanish, but I know like one line in Spanish, and I learned this one sentence in Spanish because I had a Spanish. So basically, I had a Spanish housemate, and I was like, "Oh, teach me some Spanish." I was like, "You teach me something." So he taught me one sentence, a short sentence in Spanish, and I learned that sentence, and I said it so many times to myself. Till I literally sounded like almost Spanish, saying it to Spanish people, and Spanish people thought I was Spanish. When I used to go to like Spain and say this sentence, they would reply back in Spanish. Like there was no thought of, can you actually speak the language? I'm telling you, like I'm good at listening and replicating. So I'm gonna try that in Sweden. I'm gonna learn some Swedish, and try and get it to the point where the Swede thinks I can speak Swedish. Let's see how I'm Finnish. Well, actually, no, I'm not Finnish. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm saying Swedish. Do you know why? Because Finland, your language is hard, mate. I will try, but the pronunciation in Finnish is hard. Really, really hard. I know I could do it with Sweden. I know I can learn some Swedish and sound almost a little bit authentic. Finnish, I'm not sure about that, but I'm gonna give it a go as well, guys. I will. By the way, the sentence in Spanish is yo hablo un poco de español. Yo hablo un poco de español. I speak a little bit of Spanish, and I used to say that all the time and trick the Spanish people. Anyway.
Mina haluan uksi korvapusti, which is like, I want one cinnamon roll. They're like, oh, it's so sweet, you're so wrong, but they'll play along. In Sweden, though, when you do that, you try to speak a little Swedish to them, they kind of go, look at you like, why are you trying to speak Swedish? And they'll say it to you in English, in perfect English. So you're like, okay, I'm not going to try. And you kind of like walk away in defeat. Whereas
I'm going to get it. I'm going to speak in Swedish. And I'm gonna get that Swede, whoever you are, to reply to me in Swedish. And then I'm like, oh god, I can't speak Swedish really. I'm gonna do it. That's my goal. That is my goal. My goal is to say a sentence in Swedish so perfect that the Swedish speaker is gonna think I'm Swedish. I'm gonna do it.
Whereas the Finns do kind of make you feel better about trying it. So it's one of those little differences out there. But regardless, both of us speak great English. And it's not just like young people. It's young people to old people like me to even older people like my parents' age. So another similarity you have in Sweden and Finland is the cinnamon roll. They both love cinnamon rolls. They both have these big sugar crystals on there and everything. They're both fantastic. However, the korvapusti from Finland, I gotta say, is significantly better than the Swedish one. I mean, these are good, don't get me wrong. But the ones in Finland, like I was having 3 a day. This one, I'm only having like maybe 1 or 2 a day. So they're still good. Okay. But yeah, Finland, you want on the cinnamon roll. And I think that's important. Yes, then Finland and Sweden,
I'll be the judge of that. I'm going to go to both. Like I said, I'm going to get suggestions from both of you, my Finns and my Swedes, as to where to get the best cinnamon rolls from.
Both love their coffee, okay? And there's no doubting that. Like, you have to drink coffee, you want to talk to people when you're here. However, I will give Sweden the better coffee culture kind of thing, because they have fika, which is more like a coffee break, relaxation time to hang out with your friends. They do that a lot better than in Finland, though, like I said, Finland does have the superior sweet roll, cinnamon roll, but coffee time, the fika wins in Sweden. Now, I figured I'd show $2 horses because I've got 2 more wins for Sweden. One, when it comes to music, unless you like speed death metal, Sweden probably wins, because you've heard of ABBA. And
Wait, Sweden, music wise, you know, I've been reacting to a lot of music of late, and yeah, insane. Actually insane. Actually insane. And as a musical person myself, a person that loves music, also creates music, used to create music, used to be in a band, used to be a singer, used to be a rapper as well. Sweden just has a special place in my heart when it comes to music. Like that love of music is me. So yeah, Sweden. I'm looking forward to. I have to definitely go to the ABBA museum. There's an ABBA museum, isn't there? I need to go to the ABBA museum, and I need to go to. Does Spotify have like a headquarters? I'm not gonna just walk in, but does Spotify have a headquarters in Stockholm? Let me know in the comment section.
Probably Ace of Base and Roxette and other bands, whereas Finland is more death metal-y kind of music. So I'll give Sweden the music one. And also, if you're trying to decide if there's only one city you can go to or one place you can go to between Finland and Sweden, I have to be honest, Stockholm would be the city I would recommend because it has the most sites, most places to go and see.
Okay.
I'm here at Skansen right now, and there's the museums galore that are there.
That's where I'm going, the ABBA museum.
It's cool, Turku's cool, Gothenburg's cool and stuff, but like, Stockholm wins. Sorry, Sweden has the, if you only go to one city, that would be the one I'd recommend going to.
Okay.
Though my one activity would be going to a Finnish sauna. So those are just some of the similarities that I've seen here between Sweden and Finland. What are some of the differences you have? Because I can tell you one thing, they both hate each other when it comes to hockey. Because that's one thing that if you want to make the other country happy, you just say, if you're in Sweden, you say Finland hockey sucks. If you're in Finland, you just say Sweden sucks. And you'll be making friends just like that. So see, They have some similarities in that way. Anyway, I wish you all the best, and please let us know what are some of the differences and similarities you saw on your travels to Finland and Sweden. Anyway.
I love you both though, you know I do. I love both countries. I haven't even been, isn't that crazy? I love both countries and I've not even been. Don't tell my German subscribers because they'll be like, no, you love Germany. I do love Germany. But you guys were my first. I love the Nordics. I'm the most excited to go to the Nordics. I feel like Germany will be very similar to going to England. I don't think it would be much of a like, I don't know. I'm not as excited as them to go to see you guys. When I go to Sweden and Finland, I'm gonna be like a kid in a candy shop. Trust me. And when the vlogs are up, you will see. I'm gonna do my best to make them as fun as possible, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna be super excited once I touch down into Helsinki, into Stockholm, Gothenburg, Turku. Where else am I going? Copenhagen. Sorry, Denmark. You as well. Yeah, I'm excited, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I will see you very soon.